Hey there, everybody.
Good evening.
We are back. As you can tell, since you can see us, this is not the podcast. We're doing the webcast again, because basically that's what we want to do, and I explained it on our posting a while back. For those who don't remember, this is Les Webster.
Good evening.
My name is Thomas Chick, and joining us tonight via the miracle of Skype is Mike Marlowe.
Howdy doody, folks.
How's it going, Mike?
Doing great.
All right. Les, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Let me check something here real quick. Looks like we're okay. I'm doing okay, too. And
Good.
For our first night back, we figured since we are about to start the summer movie season, which used to start Memorial Day weekend, but it's been moved up over the last 20 years or so. Just kind of go over briefly a little bit some of the lineup of the movies that are coming out this summer, and kind of giving our thoughts of what sounds good and what doesn't sound good and that kind of stuff. Anything you want to say before we start?
Just that this is one of the most fun topics every year, is going over some of these films.
Yep, I agree. Mike, you have anything to say before we start up?
Nope, I'm good.
Alrighty.
Let's roll.
Let's roll. Well, starting with this week, you may have heard about this movie coming out, something called The Avengers, or something like that.
The what? No, never heard of it.
Okay, you hadn't heard of it? Okay. We'll have to talk after the show. Obviously, it's probably the heaviest promoted movie this year so far.
I believe so.
Probably will keep that crown at the end of the year.
Yes, because I'm sure the DVD will be coming out late November.
Yeah.
Just in time for the Christmas rush.
That's right.
Oh, you betcha.
But with all that said, I am excited to see it. This is a movie I never thought I would ever see, to be quite frank. Just the way things have been gone,
Well, to me, Marvel has been building this up.
Well,
with each of their films that have been coming out. Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. There you've got your base. Let's go ahead and do a movie with all of them and see how things land.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, there was a time I'd never thought there was an Iron Man movie. That's kind of the point I was getting at.
Well, that's true.
I'd never figured there would be an Iron Man movie, much less an Avengers movie. So.
Oh, sure. And given the 2 Hulk movies and the 2 Iron Man movies, you're talking about movie 7 in the series. It's hard to bank on something lasting that long, as long as it's not Harry Potter.
True. And
I mean, at what point, if the movies are bad, the whole thing falls apart. So.
True.
And outside the early movies of X-Men and Spider-Man, I truly think that Marvel was reaching for heroes for the other movies. Iron Man was essentially, except the comic book geeks, but outside the realm, Iron Man was unknown. Hulk was known because of the TV series. Captain America had a horrendous movie for the first time, and the TV.
They've had 2 bad TV movies, and then the bad movie back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And then Thor, only time Thor has really shown up outside of the more mythological versions was one of the Incredible Hulk TV movies, when they tried to introduce him in as a possible spinoff, which failed miserably.
And the only other time I can remember is Adventures in Babysitter.
Okay.
But granted, he was not the central figure, but it was a mention of the character.
The character was mentioned, that's true. Okay, something else that's coming out this weekend. It's on it's unlimited screen, but I heard about this and I was curious. It's called Death of a Superhero. It stars Andy Serkis. Those who are not familiar with him, his movements were captured, video or computer captured, and he was Gollum for the Tolkien movies, including The Hobbit. They'll be coming out at the end of the year. And
Part 1.
Huh?
Part 1 comes out this year.
That's
Part
right.
2 comes out next year.
Yeah. And then Caesar in The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, which came out last year.
Yes.
Here's the synopsis. A teenage comic book artist suffering from leukemia finds escape from the harsh realities of life in his illustrated adventures, in which the indestructible Miracle Man fights a never-ending battle against his arch nemesis, the mad scientist known as the Glove.
That's interesting.
It sounds like an interesting story, though.
Yeah.
That's why I want to bring it up, because it's a limited release, so that the general public would not hear about this movie, unfortunately.
Because I bought the Rainn Wilson movie from last year, like Super.
Yeah.
Rainn Wilson and Ellen Page. It was okay. It didn't do anything at the box office, but it was worth watching.
Yeah. I need to borrow it.
Okay.
Maybe not tonight, but eventually, yeah. Okay, that's this week. Next week is the Tim Burton, Johnny Depp Dark Shadows. Anyone interested in seeing that?
I'm going to hand this one to Mike.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
Yay!
Wow. I don't know what to think on this one. I really don't. Other than it just being another Tim Burton excuse to get Johnny Depp on the screen.
Actually, in this case, it was the opposite. Because Johnny Depp was the one that's been wanting to do this, and apparently he got Burton involved, from what I understood.
The thing is, and if you look at the previews, it's another Beetlejuice. You have the same kind of
It's a dark
background.
comedy.
Yeah, it's a dark comedy, and which is, I'm sorry, but let's stop making television shows into comedies. Television shows that were not comedies originally.
Right. It was a soap opera.
It was a soap opera, and it ran for, I want to say, 700 episodes or something. That's a long time.
There's no way you're going to sum that up in 90 minutes. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You don't even have time in 90 minutes to make it interesting.
I agree.
Unfortunately, I have not watched the TV show. I would like to. I'm kind of curious. I mean, this has got me interested in seeing the show, because I'm like, there's no way. No way. So I guess some good's coming out of it. Maybe get some people interested in actually watching the original show. Maybe someone will bring them back. I know a friend of mine, Elaine from Streaming Garage, if she's watching, hello, said that over 140 episodes are available on Netflix.
I believe so.
So I may have to check that out. So that is Dark Shadows. The week after that is the movie we've all been waiting for, Battleship, with Taylor Kitsch and Liam Neeson. And the movie, I basically describe it as Independence Day on the seas, because that's basically what it looks like.
Yes, that's what it does.
And for those who don't know, this is loosely, and I mean loosely, based on the game, Parker Brothers game, which of course did not involve aliens. It was involved you trying to sink your other people's ships.
Yes.
So why couldn't they turn this into
Just a modern warfare game?
Yeah, well, Modern Warfare.
Because that would be boring.
Yeah, who is our opponent in this?
Well, that's a good point. No, that's a good point.
Because you've got the communists are essentially not in play right now. I don't know of any terrorist group that has a flotilla. I just, there's
They may have a raft.
Yeah, there's just nowhere to go except aliens, and we've already joked, how soon is Hungry Hippos coming out? Or
Have you seen the Photoshop poster?
no.
It's Battleship, except for they take out the alien ship and put a humongous hippo in there, and it's Hungry Hippos.
Battleship 2, Hungry Hippos.
It looks so awesome. And of course, the jokes have been coming out. When are they going to do Connect 4 and Operation and Yahtzee and that kind of stuff? So,
well, they could use for is it Connect? No, which one is it with the pop-up dice?
Trouble.
They could combine Trouble with Stephen King's book Under the Dome, and have everybody threatened by this large dice that just appears and falls. Every once in a while, it just comes back down to crush people or something like that.
Can it star Steven Seagal? Please.
Please. Oh, please.
So that's pretty much. I think we're pretty much against that one. The week after that, Men in Black 3. Okay, y'all say what y'all want to say first, and then I'll say my piece.
I'm really torn on this one because honestly, I'm not a huge time travel fan as far as sci-fi stories go. So I'm a little leery when time travel comes up. And yes, the Star Trek movie made me nervous.
Which one?
The J.J. Abrams one.
Okay. Because they've only done it like 3 or 4 times.
Right. I don't know. It might be worth seeing just to see Josh Brolin doing Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know.
I will say what I've seen in the previews, Brolin hits Jones dead on.
Dead on.
The
man can act. There's no doubt about that.
Just the voice intonations, the mannerisms are just right on spot. I'm not sure that I want to see in Men in Black 3, but I mean, we barely got back through 2, and wasn't Jones... Well, that's when he went back to his girlfriend.
Well, he was already...
That was at the end of 1.
That was the end of 1. Two was to bring him back and get him back his memories, because he held the key to the new threat that was going to destroy the world and the universe.
Yeah.
In lingerie.
Okay, I'm a little bit more optimistic about this than you guys, but I do have a little skepticism because 2 was just so horrible. I was so disappointed in 2, but this looks real good, and the fact that it took them forever to do a 3, I'm hoping that means that they took their time to get a good script and in that kind of thing. But that doesn't really mean anything. But
yeah, it's going to have a really good story. I mean, or it's just going to tank.
Well, either that or it's going to be just another popcorn movie, which is okay, but nobody's going to be talking about it in 6 months.
As long as they don't make any more toilet jokes, we'll be good.
And I didn't see any signs of Frank. I guess they're not bringing back Frank the Pug this time.
Hey, well, Frank the Pug would be, 22 years old or something?
True.
How long ago was that?
No, I have no idea.
They're actually aging the universe the way they should. But that's getting really nitpicky.
Did I miss it, though, that Rip Torn is not in this one?
He is not in that one.
No, I think they had Emma Thompson in there.
Yeah, there's actually some news about that. I don't know. I'm trying to remember right now. I think he did some things. I don't remember right now. So.
Well, that's a shame because that was one of the good parts of the first two.
Yeah, I liked him as Dad.
Oh, yeah. Pity they couldn't get Charlie Sheen for that.
Winning.
New 5 RPM gum. A relaxing mint flavor.
We have commercial time.
Turn it off because we're not getting any money off of it.
New 5 RPM gum. Stimulate your senses.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. Sorry about that. That's it for May. So June 1st. If you didn't get enough of Chris Hemsworth in Thor, he's back in Snow White and the Huntsman with Kristen Stewart of the Twilight
series, huh?
Mm-hmm. Snow White, a princess, escapes her evil stepmother with the help of a huntsman who was supposed to kill her, but instead trains the princess to fight back. Now you know.
Didn't the Brothers Grimm tank too?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. This actually looks kind of the same. I actually saw the Brothers Grimm and liked it for what it was, but it was pretty much mindless entertainment.
I liked it for what it was also, Mike, but I didn't see it at the big screen.
Oh, I don't think I did either.
Well, like I said, I picked what I thought was the best of the group, so that tells you that's a bad week.
Well, because we already did a Snow White movie this season.
That's the trend. Everybody's picking up on the fairy tales. There's supposed to be another, there's been a couple of Red Riding Hoods and Snow White and...
Well, even TV has gotten a couple of them.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time and Grimm, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, of course, we say is rip-off of Fables. But we're not going to get back into that again.
No.
We've done enough on that.
But, okay, Kristen Stewart?
Yes.
Learning to go ninja? Go medieval on people? No, that's not the point of the whole story.
No, but it is a modernization of the whole story. And that's what it's all about. What's it rated?
Have no idea. Don't have that information. Les can pull it up real quick.
Gonna guess PG-13.
I would assume so because they're gonna want the people that, especially the females who fawn over Hemsworth and then Kristen Stewart to be there to go see the movies.
Well, let's be honest. Hemsworth is dreamy. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I'll admit that.
And yes, it's PG-13.
PG-13, yeah.
So, yeah. So.
And oh, look, I'm looking at IMDb, and all the pictures with Kristen Stewart, she's not making any facial expressions.
I do like who's playing the Queen. That's Charlize Theron.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And she shows up in the following week.
Oh,
really? The following week, yeah.
She's been busy.
Yeah. Do we want to go ahead and move on to the following week?
Head out, buddy.
I think we beat this one to death.
Huh?
I think we beat this one to death.
Yeah, I think so. The following week was Charlize Theron. Prometheus.
Ah, yes, Ridley Scott.
I am there.
It is the story of what?
It is the prequel to Alien.
Oh.
The one that they're saying it's not a prequel, but come on, look at the commercials in the trailer. It is a prequel to Alien.
It is certainly styled in a similar fashion to Alien. Whether the story pans out to be similar, who knows?
Well,
they're being pretty tight-lipped about it.
Well, scroll down a little bit. Down to the cast. And what I'll point out is Guy Pearce playing Peter Weyland. Whaling is the name of the company
Yeah.
that's referenced in the Alien films.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
So I don't care what they say. What I've
That's
seen,
fine.
what I've seen from the trailers, including the international trailers, which I advise you to go look at.
Okay.
This is an Alien prequel. I mean, they're not trying to shop it as that, and that's fine. That's the way you want to do it. I kind of actually applaud them for that, because I mean, they could have just gone out like some other studios have done with the movie and just sell it and say, this is an Alien prequel. This is Alien. They're not.
They're trying to let it stand on its own.
They want it to sell. Yeah. They want it to succeed or fail on its own merits.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. You know what? Let's skip ahead 2 weeks to the movie I know you're interested in seeing. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Yes, I am. I read the book.
The book was great.
The book was just so much fun to read. And
It was.
in that book, Mike, I learned so much about Lincoln himself that was incorporated in the book. So you had some fact there. And
Right, the guy did his homework.
Yeah, and then he turned around and just like, it was the same guy that did Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, I believe.
Yes, it was.
And if it was, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies was good to me because of the zombie scenes. The rest of it bored me to tears.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Jane Austen.
Yes. But in Abraham Lincoln, he had my attention the whole time.
Well,
there was not a slow moment in it.
Right.
Your thought?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I think it's going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to it. And not just because it has the word vampire in it.
Well,
they better not sparkle, damn it.
Well, you're a fan of history anyway.
I am. I'm also a fan of vampires.
Yes. So this is right up your alley.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So,
looking at the cast, I can see two that I recognize. Alan Tudyk and Rufus Sewell are the two names that I know. But I'm looking forward to this. I want to see how they handle the book.
Alan Tudyk apparently plays Stephen Douglas. That'll be fun.
Yeah. See them argue, that would be tremendous.
Okay, the following week, G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Dwayne Johnson returns to the screen.
Now, I've finally seen the first one, and it was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. Thought it was way too much CGI. I may, will I go to the theater to see this? Probably not, but once it comes out on DVD, I'll rent it. I'll check it out.
Okay. Mike?
I have not seen the first one or two or however many there have been, and really have no interest. It's just, I don't know.
Well, this is
I can't get past the old TV anime version, and it seemed a little too cheesy then, and I just find it hard to believe that it's not cheesy now.
Well,
and I admit that I do not have any frame of reference for this opinion. But
well, like I said, the first one was just way too much CGI. So, for my taste, I mean, I like CGI, but it seems like there was a lot of stuff that they did that they could have done more practical effects or done more practical set work or whatever that they could have done, but they went the easy way. Well, not really easy, but went the CGI way.
Yeah, they could have made an action flick, and instead they made a video game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They went for the video game feel. And of course, that was Stephen Summers, who also brought us Van Helsing.
Yeah, we'll try not to hold that against him for now. As long as he stops soon.
Yeah.
I loved The Mummy.
I love The Mummy, and I love The Mummy Returns.
Actually, the third one wasn't half bad either.
I
actually thought the third one was better than Mummy Returns.
I hadn't seen the third one yet.
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
It was not half bad. Van Helsing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Also that weekend, limited release, the Jonathan Demme documentary Neil Young Journeys. And it's concert footage.
I could see that. I would like that.
I would like to see that too.
Because there have been some good films in the past of that genre, like The Last Waltz.
Yeah.
So I could sit back and enjoy that.
Well, if it's shown here, we can skip G.I. Joe and go see this.
Gee, what a toss-up.
Decisions.
Okay. July 3rd, The Amazing Spider-Man.
Talk about CGI lead. That's going to do it. And we're going to learn once again the story of Peter Parker and turning to Spider-Man.
Yeah, this time we're modernizing the story of Peter Parker.
We're making him look like one of the glitter vampires from Twilight. His haircut is
pretty much
that style.
Yeah, it's kind of the Angel look.
Yeah.
Yeah, except Angel was cool.
Yeah, Angel was cool.
Of course, and that was also 10 years ago, so that tells you something.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's not pull hairstyles from 10 years ago and expect it to fly.
Yeah.
Or swing.
Either way.
This one does. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this one does give you the lizard. So you've got somebody different.
Well, now from what I understand, we're not going to get the full origin, which I'm kind of intrigued on how that's going to work out. But yeah, we got the lizard. They're obviously, from what I've seen, they're pushing the science aspects of the character, which I kind of find interesting because that's what they've been doing in the comics recently. They've really kind of enforced the Peter's scientific knowledge and be able to create gadgets and that kind of stuff.
You mean like Iron Man?
That's exactly what I was telling Wes. What was it, last week or the week before that?
Yeah.
It's almost like Batman, Iron Man. You know, here comes the new issue, so he's got a new villain. So let me build this thing, and this will take care of him, and then I'll go into the next week.
And this movie, it reminds me of Michael Keaton's first Batman movie. Because who was the name on that? It was Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
It was not Michael Keaton as Batman.
So, yeah, he was the bigger star.
Right.
So you saying that Iflins is the Nicholson of this movie?
No, Rhys Ifans is not the Nicholson. I think it's Emma Stone. Emma Stone is more known than the majority of the people on this roster.
Well,
and she's going to play a fairly minor role.
Well, I might take you to task regarding Martin Sheen and Sally Field. I think there's more people who know.
but of the group that's going to go see this, who knows? Who's more known?
True. I mean, they're basically taking the Superman approach. Get a relatively unknown. Yeah, he's probably had some work, that kind of stuff, but put a more established cast around him to support him. I mean, you've got Dennis Leary as Captain Stacy. That can't be a big role.
No. C. Thomas Howell.
Well, I was talking to big names, but.
And Beth Davids. And Beth Davids from the third.
Evil Dead. Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. She played the princess or the love interest in that one.
That's true. So, any interest?
I'll probably end up seeing it.
I I probably will end up seeing it at some point too. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't huge on the last 3 Spider-Man movies, so I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's the character I'm not real warm on. I don't know.
Well, I've heard your complaints about the second one, and the second one's actually my favorite of the 3.
The third one wasn't a whole lot better.
I hate's a strong word, but I strongly didn't like the third.
I thought it was the third one when Sandman decided that he's going to go back to his family, and Peter says, "Yeah, go ahead, everything's fine." I thought, no, that doesn't make sense. The man's a criminal.
It was basically a give up on the writers.
Yeah.
By that time, they were too busy. They had been too busy trying to write everything else. I mean, it's been well documented that Raimi was forced to put Venom in the movie. And quite honestly, if Venom had not been in the movie, it would have been a hell of a lot better. It would have been. If they had focused more on Sandman and then the whole Harry Osborn inheriting the Goblin Man. Because, I mean, that was basically a throwaway. You know, you built it up in the first 2 movies to get to this point, and then basically, you know, they have one big fight, and then at the end of the movie they make up, battle the bad guys, and of course Harry dies.
Yeah. Kind of weak.
It was a weak ending to what they were trying to do.
For a new pet that you can cherish.
And I thought they were trying to do too much anyway.
From a shelter.
So if they had picked like any 2 of these people and actually like fleshed it out, you'd have had a much better story, and it probably would have done a lot better.
It's just
A person is the best thing to happen to a...
Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, well, I mean, that's the way I felt about Batman Returns. If it had been either Catwoman or Penguin, it would have been a much better movie. I would have preferred it to be Catwoman, but Penguin was kind of an interesting story.
Yeah.
The 2 of them together...
The problem there, I thought, was that they tried to do them together. If they had treated them as separate stories, I mean, in a sense, with the first one, you've got the Batman backstory and the Joker, technically 2 stories.
Yeah.
If you do Catwoman and Penguin as 2 separate stories, even if they're a little bit interwoven, fine, but don't try to make them allies, because that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Very rarely do bad guys become good allies.
Right.
So, I think you just waste people's time trying to do that.
Right. The whole point of evil is that they're out for themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Not to get all Joseph Campbell on it, but, you know.
No. I think we probably will spend enough time on that. I think we pretty much got our feelings out about that. The following week, or actually the following for Friday, because that's the 3rd. The 13th is Ice Age Continental Drift. Another Ice Age movie.
I'm not sure I'm ready.
I've only seen the first one, and so.
The second one was shown on a plane, so I had nowhere to go.
Ah!
Could have been worse. Could have been snakes on a plane. On the plane.
Well, and the train, too.
The first one was, I mean, it was a kid's movie. What are you going to do? The second one wasn't quite as good. How many Land Before Time movies are there? I mean, you can just keep making these kids movies, and I mean, you know, it's not my deal, but my 5-year-old might like it. Who knows?
Okay. The following week, because we're going to go ahead and move on. The following week, The Dark Knight Rises, the final Christopher Nolan Batman movie.
Yeah, boy, they're plugging that in the trailers, aren't they? Holy cow! The end. Everywhere you look, the end.
Well, because there's so many people that hate Chris Nolan and hate this version of Batman that, yeah, they're trying to make everybody go, good, it's going to be done, it's going to be done.
Yeah, they're hating the hell out of it while they keep paying money to see it, don't they?
Yes.
I know. I've actually enjoyed this franchise.
I have to.
you just saw the trailer before the show.
Yes.
What do you think of the trailer?
I thought it was very good. People are saying that Bane's voice is so modulated they can't understand him. That he's mumbling, and I'm going, I heard every word, and I have bad hearing.
That's actually changed. It was actually worse.
Wow.
Because some of the footage that's in the new trailer was in the 7-minute thing that was put before Mission Impossible back in December, and someone bootlegged it and put it on YouTube, and I watched it, and I understood half of what Bane said. That's the same footage that's been snipped into the new trailer, but I can understand what he's saying. So they've gone back and fixed it.
Good.
They heard the complaints and did something about it.
That's why they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. I have no problem with Christian Bale as Batman. I think he can carry it. He carries the persona very easily. And after the strength of his performance in the second one, I think this one will be well. I'm hoping it will. And that's just before the con starts out there in San Diego.
Yeah, that'll be the big thing there. Moving on to August. Boy, there's about 3 weeks, whether it's just basically nothing, but the first week we've got The Bourne Legacy with Jeremy Renner taking over.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden he's Mr. Action Spy.
Yeah.
Because I mean he's Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Yeah.
He was in the last Mission Impossible, and now he's taken over the Bourne franchise.
I hope they do the books justice. Although I enjoyed Matt Damon, they didn't follow the books all that well.
They didn't follow the books at all past about the 20-minute mark of the first movie.
Yeah.
And I honestly never read the fourth book because it wasn't written by Ludlum, and I don't know, it just never kind of occurred to me to read it. There's, I think, even a fifth one now, but so I don't know. I didn't even know about this movie existed until just now. I won't lie to you. I had no idea.
Well, Ed Norton's in it too, so it might.
Oh, well, hell, sign me up then.
You being facetious? Are you?
Oh yeah, totally being facetious. I mean, I like Ed Norton. I was kind of kidding, but
okay. All right, I just want to make sure.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not gonna lie. I liked the Bourne movies with Matt Damon. I enjoyed them. I thought they were really fun. But I don't want any of our listeners or viewers to get the idea that they had anything to do with the books that were written.
No, you're right. Almost strictly the name is about as close as they got to the books.
Well, you can say that. You can say that with the Bonds. For most of them.
True.
And if anybody has any doubt on that one, go read Moonraker.
Go read Casino Royale. Yeah.
Same weekend, the remake of Total Recall. Colin Farrell, Jessica Biel, and Kate Beckinsale.
And John Cho.
It looks good from what I've seen.
What do you think, Mike?
I really have heard surprisingly little about this. I don't know if I'm just living under a rock or something. Len Wiseman's involved. Okay. I would give Len Wiseman the benefit of the doubt here. I really would.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's not really been a lot said about that, but, you know, that may actually be a good thing.
Yeah.
So
I like John Cho. I know he did the Harold and Kumar movies, but I still like John Cho. Especially, what was it, Fast Forward, the TV series that he did last season.
Yeah.
I thought he was one of the better members of the cast there. But in this one, who does he play? Oh,
got
McClane.
you got Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Bill Nighy.
So it's got a good cast, but then again, so did the Schwarzenegger version.
True.
It had a good cast, but it just, and it was a decent film.
You can put the best actors you want in a dog of a movie, but if it don't have a decent script or a decent story, you're screwed.
True.
Now, okay, according to this one, though, on IMDb, I don't remember that in Schwarzenegger's movie that he believed he was a spy.
He didn't until they supposedly put in the memory.
Okay.
Because that was the thing. He was selected that he was a spy, that he was in Mars, and he picked out the girl that eventually was the girl from Mars.
Okay.
But he didn't know until they tried to implant it, and then they realized that oh hell, there's already been some damage in here, that he actually is a spy. So.
Okay.
If I remember correctly. Is that your recollection there, Mike?
Yeah, there was some sort of spy element in the story that he chose.
So, the next one I have is on the 17th, Paranorman. It's a 3D animated movie. It's about a misunderstood boy that has to save the town from zombies. It looks cute.
Okay. Give me a second. This one I have not heard of.
I hadn't heard of it either until I started looking at the schedule.
Yeah, this one's news to me.
Okay, I see four names that come to mind as far as cast. John Goodman, Casey Affleck, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Jeff Garlin. Those four I know, so.
It looks pretty good. Looks like it might be a fun movie.
And the boy is Cody Smith McPhee. Cody Smith McPhee plays Norman.
Norman?
Don't know.
He doesn't know you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And this is by the same group that did what, Mars Needs Moms?
I think so. I believe you are right.
Ooh, I bet they're not going to pub that.
I kind of like Mars Needs Moms, but I guess it was after seeing some of how they made it, part of it, where they did the action tabs on the people.
Mm-hmm.
They filmed them just like Avatar was done.
Yeah.
Did that and then did the animation over it. I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, that's how they did Gollum.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I was going to say, let's bring Andy Serkis back into this and
Oh,
say
exactly.
that was how Gollum was done.
And it always comes back to Andy Serkis.
He's the man, I'm telling you.
But it looks like a fun film.
Yeah. And it'll be rated
I'm
PG-13,
sure.
I'm sure.
Probably G. Not PG.
PG.
Probably. I could be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time. Also the same weekend, Expendables 2. Which I'm not sure how there could be a sequel if they were all expendable in the first one.
They might have survived. I didn't see Expendables. So
I didn't either.
I thought the majority of them died, but
So they were expendable.
I thought.
I almost feel bad saying I didn't see it. I feel like I should have seen that one now. I don't know why.
Well, got all the action stars, past and present.
Yeah. And it does have Jason Statham, so that's strong for
Jason
me.
Statham's not an action star?
No, I think that it has him. And that's one of the reasons I would go see it, because I do like his Transporter movies. They're very entertaining.
Well, Charisma Carpenter's in it. Woohoo!
Yay.
Oh, come on.
So is Terry Crews.
He doesn't know me. Anyway, wrapping up the month of August, because it seems like we talked about this time last year. It seems like August is always a give-up month for them.
I believe it, yeah.
The Possession with Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Keira Sedgwick. A family finds itself in possession of a haunted box and struggles to get rid of its evil curse.
Yay, an R-rated horror flick.
Just in time for Labor Day weekend. Woohoo!
Woohoo! But not early enough to hit DVD before Christmas.
True.
That's probably why it's a throwaway month.
Well, I don't understand what the thinking is for the movie studios to think, okay, well, I'm assuming, well, I mean, it may be different in different states, but it just seems like May they think kids are out of school or back from college, that kind of thing. Let's go to the theaters, and in August they're back. They're back to school, so just give up. I don't understand that thinking. And in some cases, yeah, they're back in school in August, but I don't understand the thinking. Like I said, it seems like it's pretty much a give up. You know, we're so busy with May, June, and July that when August comes, say, screw it, let's start thinking about the holidays.
Yeah.
So look at it like this, though. I mean, the stuff that comes out May, June, and July, they're expecting 7 days worth of movie ticket sales. You get to August, you're looking at maybe 3 days worth because you're down to just the weekend because the kids are in school.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless you spring something on them like the old days where movies came out on Wednesdays.
New 5 RPM gum.
Again?
Relaxing mint flavor.
I hate this.
Well, just okay. There you go. You shut it off. I don't know. I don't get paid the big bucks to kind of figure out that kind of stuff.
It's one of those that it could be good, it could be bad. I don't recognize any of the names on the thing at this point, so.
Oh, The Possession.
I mean, like directors and writers.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I picked what I thought would probably be the big one of the week. So obviously that's, and I've already said August is a give up month. So yeah.
Well, Mike brought up writers and things. I went to the director just to see what he might have done before. If there was anything that I recognized, and it looks like it's all Swedish or something of that nature.
He's from Denmark.
Denmark, well, then...
That would explain a lot.
So there's nothing here that I would really recognize.
So just going back and looking back at everything, I think it's going to be a pretty good summer. I mean, I know a lot of people complain about last summer being a down summer. It was not a good summer, and okay.
I'm not so sure that it wasn't.
I don't really believe that. But now, will this summer be better than last year? Yeah. But that doesn't mean that last summer was a bad summer.
You're going to get that just for 2 movies alone. There's been so much so many people looking forward to Avengers and The Dark Knight Rises. That's going to make it the best summer in 5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be realistic.
Yeah, I know.
I believe you're right.
So, yeah. So what I picked would be, the winter of May obviously would be the Avengers. June will be Prometheus, and in July will be Dark Knight Rises. I think those will be the biggest movies of the summer.
Don't count out Men in Black 3. And I'm not saying I think it's going to be good. I'm just saying don't count it out as far as box office take is concerned.
Yeah. I can actually see that do better than Amazing Spider-Man.
What?
Oh, sure.
Because I was thinking Spider-Man would give Dark Knight a run.
Honestly, I don't think so.
I don't either.
You think it's going to not have legs after 2 weeks?
Yep.
Dark Knight opens and Spider-Man
even with the 4th of July. I mean, they even put it on 4th of July weekend, and I still think it won't do. I think it'll get knocked out by Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, The Dark Knight is established. I mean, this is the third movie. This is the one that people have been waiting for a while. I mean, the Amazing Spider-Man's a reboot, and nobody knows what to expect. So unless it's just a completely brilliant movie, you got to give it 3 weeks before it starts dying off. Whereas Dark Knight's going to carry for at least 8 weeks.
Yeah, it'll carry through August, and then after that, who knows?
And Avengers will hit like Thor did last year and carry for 8 weeks or better.
Yeah, Thor. I mean, Avengers will be there. Men in Black might knock it down, but I don't. But Prometheus would really be the next challenger. That's a month later.
Okay, I can see that.
And then I can actually see the Avengers not coming back up after the following week or the week after.
Yeah, kind of like Thor did before.
I don't know. I'm going to be a little surprised if Prometheus does any damage to the Avengers thing. I mean, I think the steamroller is going to be going with Avengers, and I think Prometheus probably do all right, but I don't know if it's blockbuster material.
I think it'll do. I think it'll do at least the first weekend, because I think there's so much interest. Because first of all, it's Ridley Scott doing sci-fi again, and like I've already said, as much as they try to say it's not, it is an alien prequel. There's interest in that.
Yeah.
So I could see it being that big that weekend. Beyond that, who knows? I could be wrong.
Well, that's a good list there, sir. Now, wasn't there a movie coming out based on a video game?
When is there not?
That narrows it down a bit, Les. Come on. Give us a little more detail here.
I know I've seen them talking on G4 about something coming out. They're going to discuss on Thursday the new movie coming out based on some video game. And I thought, okay, it's a live action movie. But in these cases, guys, pull up my soapbox here, because why not just make the game into a movie? They've got all the visual that they need. They put a little plot to it, and instead of you trying to fight something, just show it.
Sylvester Stallone is Pac-Man.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
Which is the only one I've known that was a video game that they did a movie, and it was animated, wasn't it? Was it Final Fantasy? The Spirits Within? Was that it? But I don't think it had anything to do with the game. I could be wrong.
Except for the characters?
Huh?
Except for the characters?
I don't think even a character. I'm not sure. I don't play Final Fantasy, so I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's the right name.
Yeah.
I remember.
That sounds familiar.
I know Spirits Within was the tag, but I may not be right with it being Final Fantasy. I just don't know why they do video game movies. I really don't. That's it.
Why do they make any movies?
Well,
Yeah, they want to make money. They think they can get video game fans to come see their movie.
Yeah, but yeah, well, and you could say that with the comic book movies. With at least with the comic book movies, they work on it enough to where they're hoping that they can get crossover to the general public, and more times than not, they're successful. But with the video games, they're hardly successful.
Well, it's because of the effort they put into them.
Good point.
They are generally not very good. I mean, even ones that I claim to like the
Mario Brothers.
No, the
I
Resident
know
Evil.
Mario Brothers was going to show up.
No, I was thinking the Resident Evil ones. The Resident Evil movies are actually fun if you kind of separate yourself from the video game and watch it as just a generic CGI Armageddon flick.
Are you sure
They're actually not half bad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying they're actually not half bad. I mean, I don't know.
I was going to say, are you sure it's not because Mila's in there?
For me, no, not necessarily. But
Now,
no, but you do get Ali Larter in a couple of the later ones, which this is an improvement if you ask me. But
okay.
and then of course you had Silent Hill, which was not bad. It was very creepy, and it was based on a game.
Doom was halfway decent. Halfway decent.
Is that the one
With
Dwayne
Keith
Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson and Carl Urban. Pre Dr. McCoy. Now when it's bad, a video game movie's bad when they put actual game footage into the movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen House of Dead?
No.
no.
Please don't. Because there's times where they intercut, especially in the action sequence, because there's action sequence in here for a scary movie, but they actually put in footage from the video game, and we're just like, the movie sucks if you got to do stuff like that, and they try to go Matrix, because I mean here they are on this island trying to battle zombies, so here's someone jumping in the air, and you got to circle around them 180 degrees, and then stop and they fire and that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, okay, you obviously know the movie's crap, so let's just do all this stuff. That'll make it less crappy. Well, no, not really.
Nope, you failed there.
You obviously emphasize that, hey, this is crap.
Well, we want you to watch it anyway.
But go ahead and watch it anyway. Hey, I can't
Yes,
say
please
anything.
give us your money.
Well, I didn't give him any money, but I did actually watch it.
Well, I'm happy to say that
Because it was on Stiffy.
Radha Mitchell, who was in Silent Hill,
Mm-hmm.
is doing, or they have finished, Silent Hill Revelation 3D. So,
Yay!
Sequel!
yay!
In 3D, no less.
That name sounds familiar. Wasn't she in one of the Riddick movies?
Wasn't she in the early one?
The Pitch Black? Yes, she was. Right there.
Yeah.
Carolyn Fry. Scroll back up. Was she the one that... She had to be the lead female.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe she was.
Cousin of Penelope Mitchell. Whoever Penelope Mitchell is.
Okay.
Well, at first I saw Penelope, I was thinking, Penelope Miller? Okay, cool.
And she also played the mother in
Yeah, that one.
Johnny Depp movie. What one was that?
Which one?
Sleepy Hollow. No, I don't know.
No.
Ah.
It's one of the few
Yeah.
that...
Go ahead. Type Johnny Depp into IMDb. See what you get.
Finding Neverland. Finding Neverland is the one that she was in,
Okay.
where he played...
He was J.M. Barrie.
James Barrie.
Yeah.
Relating the stories to children.
Wasn't Kate Winslet in that?
If we can find out real quick.
Did she keep her clothes on?
I think you're right. Kate Winslet played the mother, and
But did she keep her
Rhoda
clothes
Mitchell
on?
played. Yes.
Well-
Rhoda Mitchell played Johnny Depp's wife. That's right. And Freddie Highmore played the main boy of interest, main character of interest.
Alrighty then. That's pretty much my list for the summer's films. It looks like it'll be a real good summer.
I think so.
Several I'm kind of interested in seeing. I'm still trying to catch up on some of the stuff that came out last fall and winter. So,
Thank goodness for On Demand.
that's true. And Netflix and all that good stuff. Anything else? Anything you want to add before we sign off for the evening?
Nothing for me. Mike?
Mike, got anything?
No, I think we've covered it all. I'm just waiting for The Hobbit.
You got a little bit of a wait there.
Yes, I do. That's all right.
It's only 7 months. It'll go by real quick.
Oh, yeah. Piece of cake.
Well, you
Not
made
exactly a summer movie.
well you made it this far, so 7 months is nothing.
Oh, sure.
For the longest time, it didn't look like it was actually going to happen.
Well, you've lived through the majority of the hype for Avengers, so.
Yeah, but you know we're going to spend the next month or so with #1 movie in America.
Did you see what it grossed overseas?
Almost 180.
Million last week?
Yep.
Gee.
Nice.
Yep. I think it was more like 178, but
Yeah.
I rounded up.
Yeah. I believe it's 178, but
Yeah.
opening week, 178 million for a weekend. That's unbelievable.
Yep. And they haven't had a hit here yet. I still don't understand them starting it up overseas first, but that was not my decision. They did not consult me on that, but
If nothing else, they're going to make back their investment before it opens up here. So, you know.
that may be the thinking. You may have something there.
And Disney's got to make up ground for John Carter now.
Well, and whose fault is that?
I say it's Disney's fault.
It's Disney's fault. Because all the stuff I've heard was nothing but good stuff about it. But the first thing that is outside of, they say, oh, I love the movie, but they sure did a piss poor job marketing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard that a lot. So I don't get that, because this is Disney. They know how to market. They know how to promote. But they sure did drop the ball, or they sure didn't want the ball for that movie.
Yeah, the impression, and don't quote me on any of this, but the impression I got was that they picked it up from somebody else kind of halfway through. And so, I don't know. They kind of didn't control it from the beginning.
I've heard that too. Is the people who greenlit it are no longer with the company, so they pretty much just said, well, you know, we'll write it off and
New 5 RPM gum. Choose your energy.
A lot of money to write off, I tell you.
Well, and I actually read an article saying, well, you know, because they did actually come out and say that they're going to lose like $200 million off of it. But of course, they made that announcement after the Wall Street was closed for today, and then of course, when it opened the next day, that was so old news that it didn't affect their stocks. Then they can always come back and say, well, you know, it didn't lose as much money as we thought, and now it just helped their stocks go up higher. Well, I can believe that big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that.
I believe that big time. So, alrighty then. If we don't really have anything else,
just to remind everybody that this weekend is Free Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday, of course. Those who live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we are 2 weeks out from Dallas Comic-Con.
Yes.
And it's a pretty awesome group of people. I expect Saturday to be a madhouse. I'm sure Sunday will not be a picnic either, but I'm ready to be there.
Yes.
So we'll be talking more about that on the website here in the next couple of weeks with it coming up. So, like Les said, Free Comic Book Day is this Saturday. Please go by your local.
Go support your local comic shops.
That's exactly.
Right.
Mike's got the right idea. Please do. There's a lot of good books out there. I mean, the big two have some good books, but there's a lot of other publishers that have a lot of good books and that's something that we've tried to. I'm sure if you follow the website, you know we try to let you know about that stuff. So.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't say Marvel or DC doesn't mean it's not good. Take a look at it.
Definitely.
Find what you like. Screw the label. Find what you like.
And this is a convert. This is a guy I brought in and goes, hey, yeah, there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Mike?
Absolutely.
So we do appreciate you sticking with us this evening for our first broadcast back. We're planning to do this every couple of weeks unless something happens that we can't do it. Well, first we'll let you know. If you're watching this as a replay, thank you for watching too.
Thank you very much.
We do appreciate
it. And we hope we pass the audition.
Yeah. And of course we want to thank Mike for joining us
tonight.
Mike. We hope to have him on as often as he can or he's able to participate. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. I don't remember what we have signed up for that topic, but we'll let you know once we get closer. As always, any comments, questions, suggestions, anything, complaints, please let us know at email at thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. We will always read them and take them under advisement. We may follow back up with you, say, hey, kind of talk to you about whatever you have to say. Yeah. But we're always looking for input. We're always open for input.
This whole thing is a conversation, folks.
That's right.
Let's treat it that way.
That's right. So, with that said, I guess we'll be signing off for the night.
Find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Yes. Follow us on Facebook, the Fellowship, facebook.com/thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. Well, you don't have to really put net, but just Fellowship of Geeks. We're on Twitter at Fellowship Geeks. And Google Plus. Unfortunately, Google Plus does not have a name for our page. It's a number. Best thing to do is to go to our website, and there's a link on the left side, Google Plus link. Just click on that. That'll take you to your Google page, and you can follow us there. For those who have been doing that, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Until then, we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Y'all have a good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Later, gang.